This little Eddie, and you know I got soul.
I read that you were originally signed to Mario Winans, label back in 2004. So, how did you get a chance to meet him?
Um, I met Mario through a couple people that knew him, but I originally got I got kind of discovered coming home from Starbucks working at 15. I was coming home on the train in New York, and someone kind of followed me, and they were like, "I know someone that can help you out," and I was like, "Yeah, whatever." So they they asked if I had any demos, and I was recording at the time, so I gave them my demo, and they passed it on to someone that this choreographer Eddie Morales. Um, so he came to Starbucks one day, and he was like, "I don't believe it's the same kid on the demo," and he eventually I sang for him, and then he eventually the demo kind of surfaced to the hands of like Bad Boy and Puffy and all of those people over there, and that's how I kind of like met Mario.
Okay, okay. Now your first album, which unfortunately didn't come out, Nobody's Fool. What do you remember about creating that first album?
I was I remember I was really young. I was I guess I feel like people people seen a great potential at an early stage because I really didn't. I thought I really probably didn't think I was as good as people thought I was. So because I didn't really know what I was doing, I just it kind of all happened so fast, and it was a great experience. It was one of those moments in life that kind of like make you who you are now. So it was like building a muscle for me.
Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, though, the album didn't get a chance to come out. Why do you feel the album never got out?
I mean, I just think we probably all had some differences. I think me and Mario was on the same team, but other people that was a part of the project, we just kind of had creative differences, and it was kind of like beyond me why it didn't come out. But I think it all worked in my favor, so I'm not complaining about it.
Okay. Now, along with being an artist, I know you're also a writer. So, what is your writing process like?
I say I do a lot of the lyrics outside the studio. A lot of times they come from just conversing with people or watching real life scenarios or things that I went through. So daily I just kind of jot things down in my head or on my phone, and so most of the lyrics come beforehand, and then when I go to the studio I kind of find the marriage with the music.
Okay. Something that I always find interesting with being a writer and a artist is the fact that, like, how do you know what to keep for yourself and what you'll give to another artist?
Oh, that's always difficult. I'm starting to now like differentiate the sound of my stuff and stuff that I would give away, because the music that I'm trying to do now more for myself is a real story, and even though it's still relatable music, it's it's a story that almost just and not just any artist would want to like just sing the kind of that kind of record. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A song I know you wrote and one that I really liked is from JoJo's second album, Coming for You. Give me some background on that song.
That song kind of. I mean, I flew out to LA to work with Soshak and Carlin, and they were at the time they were like, "Oh, we're about to work on JoJo's new album." It's the first time I ever worked with them, and I was like, "Okay, this is exciting. I want to definitely get on this project." And it's weird because now JoJo's like one of my best friends, and I did a lot of work on her upcoming album. But at the time, I was just like, "Man, I got to get this cut. I got to get on JoJo. I think that JoJo's a star, and I want to be a part of what she's doing, and I want to be a part of that album." So we kind of just came up with some ideas, me and the other co-writers, and it was strange. Like we didn't get to record the record because JoJo had came into the studio like right after we started writing it. So I remember like this. I had to like sing the song to them. That's the way I sold that song, and they loved it, and then they cut it.
Okay, okay. Now you mentioned that you're currently working with JoJo on her new album, so what can the fans expect from her, like with the work that you've done with her?
Oh man, I think JoJo's better than ever. She has such a story to tell, um, and definitely quality, uh, extreme, amazing vocals. Like, I mean, it's just so much passion in what JoJo does, and that type of artist she is. She has one of those voices that I guess for me, come around once every like 2 decades, you know. So I think you could really expect um, an album better than ever.
Okay, okay. Now, of course, you're an artist as well, so let's talk about your project, already yours. For the people who haven't had a chance to check it out yet, how would you kind of describe the sound of that album?
Um, that album, it's um, great pop R&B records, all heartfelt, um, relatable music, relatable scenarios. It's it was like for me, it was the title was so appropriate. The first album in Japan that I released was entitled "City of My Heart," and I feel like I got like such a huge embrace of response from Japan. So I wanted the second album to kind of just be like, "I'm already yours," you know. So
Ye-
that's really where the title and stuff came about. But the album is just it's just a journey where I was at the time of my life, and I think it's just one of those relatable experiences throughout the whole album.
Okay, now, one of the first tracks that I immediately liked was, of course, the one with A. Marie, Guardian Angel. So, how did that song come about? And, what was it like working with A. Marie?
Well, I wrote the song originally a while ago. Happy Perez produced the record, and he just did like the short thing record for Miguel, and he's done a lot of records back in the day with like Frankie J and stuff. I wrote that record with my brother actually. One day I was in the studio, we were writing, not too long ago, and then when I was doing my album and I played the record for the label, they loved it so much. They were like, man, we have to get another artist on here that makes sense, and we brainstormed, and I did a version with JoJo on that record as well, and then they were like, man, we want to really get another version with you and A. Marie because you worked on A. Marie's last album, and so I was like, yeah, that'll be fantastic. And we got Avery to say, Avery said yes, and then we just kind of cut the record, and it all happened fast, and she really loved the record. So it all just came. It was like such an easygoing process.
Okay. I've noticed that both your albums have only been released in Japan. For people, I think in North America, we kind of look at it as if you don't release an album in the US, you haven't really made it. So why do you feel like, you've started out in Japan first?
Well, it was interesting. Like I had the first deal with with Mario Winans, and then like after I did like a couple shows, Soul Train and stuff, the album kind of leaked overseas, and did its thing in Germany. Like people in Germany, I started getting such a huge response, and then so a few people were like, "Man, you got to tour in Germany. You got to tour in Germany," and these promoters reached out to me, and I was like, "Okay, I didn't really know what was going on," but they were like, "Man, we want you to do some shows in Germany." So I flew out to Germany, and I mean, the first time I went to Germany, the songs off of that album were so popular. And Mario Winans was even telling me, "Man, you got to go overseas. These people know your music. Everywhere I go, they asking me about you." And so when I went to Germany, it was like I had like official club hits, records that would chart on the urban charts, and records that people would know word for word in Germany. So I toured there for about 3 years, which led to like other DJs that wanted me to tour in their countries. DJs from Dubai. I did shows over there, and I did shows in like London, different places. And then I had got all this response from Japan. I guess the music started servicing over to like Japan, made its way to Japan, and then all these Japanese labels were hitting me up, and I guess the last offer came in, the greatest, which was from Manhattan Records, and I decided to do the deal there because at the time being, like I kind of just was writing, and trying to still like mold my sound for the States, um, and all the other offers in the States that I got, I just kind of thought weren't the best offers for me at the time. So I thought, hey, why not build the fan base overseas? The music is already a little more popular over there, and just kind of get that buzzing and going, and then just come back when it's all right and do a deal worldwide, which is something now that I'm kind of like looking into more than ever.
Definitely, definitely now. Who are you currently working with?
I just did a record on Pink last month, which was amazing. I'm working with Kanan, or Kanan, rather. He did the World Cup Wave Your Flag record that he co-wrote with Bruno Mars, and that was like a huge hit in 28 countries. His album is definitely amazing. One of like my works that I'm really proud of. Again, JoJo, I did that. I did a lot of records with Cody Simpson on his EP that dropped. I wrote 3 records on there. October 18th, Layla Hathaway's album's coming out. I wrote a record on there. There's an artist named Jessie and the Toy Boys. She just opened up for Britney and Nicki Minaj. I wrote a record on her album. So it's just a bunch of stuff. I'm actually doing a lot of work now for Prince Royce album, which is another Latin star right now that is working on his American project. I've been in with a lot of compound artists, a lot of Neo's artists, Ray Vaughn and this girl named Lauren. They signed to Def Jam. I've been in with her all week. Incredible. Just a bunch of artists, man. I've been doing so much work that I feel like some of my best work ever is about to come out.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that you named all those different type of artists from Pink to Layla Hathaway. Pink is very pop, while Layla Hathaway is straight R&B. So, how do you kind of change gears when you're writing?
I think I grew up in Spanish. So like right now, I also currently got the Charlie Wilson single out, and like I did like Elder Barge album this year too. So like throughout the like when the years come when the like in a year of music, there's so many different projects and it happens so fast. But I think those gears do switch and just come kind of turn on. Me growing up in Spanish Harlem, and like I feel like I grew up like in a gospel choir, and so I was always singing like gospel music. But then yet, I would go home and listen to all my cultural music, like Latin music and stuff. But then I still was like a pop NSYNC fan kind of kid, because I mean that's kind of like what being like a Latino Puerto Rican American is about. Like you kind of still have your culture, but I know I woke up listening to Biggie. I know just as much Biggie, Jay-Z as the next man. You know what I mean? But then yet still I have all this culture and all this pop sense. So it all kind of like works when I do music. It's really strange, man. It's a gift bigger than I can't really take the credit for. I'm just thankful for doing this, and I really feel like it's a gift from God.
Definitely. Those are all the questions that I had prepared for you. Is there anything that you'd like to add?
Well, I mean, I just message to encourage people. I say, follow your dreams, believe in yourself, perfect your craft, be honest with yourself. And for me, I always put God first, so I recommend the same thing. And I think, anything's possible.